Okay. In last class or before that, we used to write one program. I want to consider the same program here, which is that dog class. Here I'll consider class dog. Inside this, I'll write private string name color cost. Yes. And then next word, I will leave some empty space here. Get name. What this will be? What we call this as? Setter. And then get color this will be string and get cost return cost. This will be end. Yes. Next what? Class launch dog public static void main of. Inside this, what I have written? Get name. Yes. This is what the program that we have written previously. Am I right? Not the yesterday's program, but all these days. How to overcome the problem of, how to overcome shadowing problem, I believe all of you are clear with that. Yes. But how exactly this will work is what the question that we have to see. Getting my point? What is that I'm trying to explain here? I'll tell you. But however, in the beginning, who will get loaded on top of the stack? Directly activation required. Very first, it will start with JVM. JVM will hand over the control to class loader's duty is to answer, right? So the duty of class loader is to scan the entire code segment to check if there is any static element. If at all, if it is there, then it will take a copy of it and it will load it onto the static segment. Next what? Sorry? It will hand over the control back to JVM and JVM will start executing static variable, static block, and then static method. When it comes to static method, even though there are thousands of methods, it will first load main method only. Main method is it there? Yes, if main method is there, then what? The control will be given to main method If control is given to main method, then what? Obviously, what should happen? What should happen? One activation record should be created. Yes. Next what? Then it will check who is on top of the stack. Who is on top of the stack? Activation record of main method is on top of the stack. Because of this, the control will enter inside main method, coming inside, equal to. Hereafter, it is important because whatever you have understood, small changes will be there. Okay. What is that? Equal to operator. Because of which, right side it will go. Right side, new keyword. Because of new keyword, sorry, some block of memory will be allocated along with one address being assigned to it. Next, class name. So it will check if at all instance variable is present or not. I mean, class is available or not. If class is available, then it will check is there any instance variable available or not. If it is there, then what? It will allocate, not assign, allocate the memory first, and then it will initialize it with default value null, null and 0. Next what? If there is any, but right side work, everything is done. How could you even come towards left side? Yesterday, how many times I have told, I also don't know. Right side, first thing that will work is new keyword. Next thing that will work is class, only class, without bracket. Next thing that will work is, forget this much, class with brackets. Now you observe this, what will you understand? You observe only this much. This side you forget. Okay, if you observe only that much, what will you understand by this door with open bracket, close bracket? I am calling one method that we call it as constructor only, that is true. But I am calling one method with how many parameters? 0 parameters. Have I written that? No. Then don't you think we should have got an error? Normally, assume that here, class, which one? Sample. Here, class, launch, sample, public, static, void, main. Inside this, sample type yes equals to new sample, and then yes dot. What will happen with this? What will happen with that? Something should happen, right? What? Forget about constructor and all. You don't know constructor now. Now you tell me. I'm creating an object of sample class. Is it there? Yes. I'm calling the method using sample. Dot means yes. Dot means inside sample class. I'm calling display method. Is it there? No. Then what will happen? Definitely error you will get. What error you will get? Symbol not found. What will be that symbol? Display method will be that symbol. Okay. Next what? There, when we are calling some method, and if that method does not exist, what will happen? We will definitely get an error. Then what about this? Because here I am calling one method, but that method, is it visible anywhere? No. Then how will it work? If you ask me, normally what will happen is, what we are calling there? method, but ultimately it is nothing but as the name of that and the class is same. We call that as what? Constructor. If at all, if there is any constructor that we are calling, that too without any parameter. Okay, we need not include that. Getting my point? Here, I'm calling one method with zero parameters. Which method? Method with the same name as of class name, which means it is nothing but constructor. I'm calling a constructor with zero parameters. Whenever you're calling a constructor with zero parameters, whether you include it or don't include it. Yesterday, if you have seen what was happening, I was passing three parameters to my constructor by myself and I have written constructor also. So it was working. But all these days we used to write like this. But have I included any constructor? All these days we were writing like this only, right? But was there any constructor in my program? No. But still it was working. Why? Object class, as of now, I'll not take it. Answer is right, but object class we can't say, or I don't want to take object class as of now. Okay. So we'll just keep it for some time later. As of now, when I speak dog constructor, okay, I'm calling dog constructor with how many parameters? Zero parameters. Okay, if I'm calling any constructor with zero parameters, we call that as default constructor. Getting my point? And whether you have included that in your program or you have not included that in your program, by default, one default constructor will be included by your compiler. Getting my point? Whether you write it or you don't write it, one default constructor will be included. Okay, how will it look like? What is the duty of your compiler? To include one what constructor? Default constructor like this. Sir, what will be there inside that, sir? What will be there inside this? Sorry? I have hearing issues, I cannot hear properly. It will consider empty constructor is what you guys are saying, but no. Though it is empty, in actual it is not empty. Okay, getting my point or not? Yes. So what you are trying to say, sir, please listen to it carefully. Whenever you write any program, time is done. Okay, I have given time. That time I listen. Now I will say. Okay, what I'm trying to speak is here, dog constructor it will include. You are calling all these days, we are writing one program. Whether you write one constructor or you don't write it, it will include one default constructor. What it will write inside that? Inside that, whether you write something or you don't write something, by default, there will be that one. We have listened to this somewhere, right? By default, whether you write it or you don't write it, by default, this will be included. This means what? Super method call will be there. Okay, sir, only this much, sir. No. What is the duty of your compiler? Whenever you write any program, it will include one default constructor. Not only default constructor, inside the default constructor, it will also include a super method call. What is the duty of super method call? I'll discuss later. I don't want it now. Okay, but along with that, there is something else also. What is that? Whenever you write any program, the first changes is what? What is the first changes? Just now I told. Compiler will include one default constructor in your program. That is your first changes whenever you write any program. Getting my point? Whenever you write any program, because I'll ask later. So I'm telling, I'm repeating. Whenever you write any program, by default, your compiler will add one default constructor inside your program. Getting my point? Sir, only this much, sir. No, this is the first changes done by your compiler. What is the second changes? No, that is also included. Okay, that is one only. Both together, it is one. What it will do, it will include one default constructor. Along with that, inside that, by default, whether you write it, you don't write it, by default, one super method call will be there for sure. Next one. Compiler will do two changes is what I said. First one is default constructor. What is second one? There should be something, right? This is one class. Yes. Dog is one class. Yes or no? In this world, directly or indirectly, everyone do have one or the other parent. Yes. Whether they are alive or not, I'll not speak about that, but definitely there was at least one parent was there, because of which you, me, or anyone in this world is existing. Yes or no? In a similar way, by default, whether you write it or you don't write it, by default, there will be one parent class as well. Okay, what is the name of that parent class? The name of that parent class is object. How can I tell that this is a child of that class? For that, as of now, you don't know inheritance. That is totally fine. But don't take that into your mind, sir. Inheritance, I don't know, especially FS23B. Okay, I'm just saying, even if you don't know, just listen, because as of now, I'll not go in depth about inheritance. How much you should know, that much only I'll tell you. I know that. Okay, so don't worry. As of now, this one, as I've already told, for every class, there will be one parent class, whether you write it or you don't write it. If it is an orphan class, orphan means all of you understand, right? If it is an orphan, by default, object will be the parent. If there is any parent, very good. Okay, so how can I tell that this is the parent of this? If this is the parent, obviously this is the child of object class. How can I, develop a relation between them? You should use one keyword called as extends. Okay, how to remember this? Whatever you write towards left side of extends, that will be the child. Right side of extends will be parent of this left side child. Clear with the point? But you think and tell me, this changes. Is it done by me? Will I do it manually? No. Sir, all these days it was not happening. No, it was happening all these days also. But we never discussed. Why? It was not needed. At that point of time, if I would have spoke about, object class, constructor, as I've already told, next day you will not come. Okay, which I don't want to happen. So what I have done, there is one class. By default, whether you do it or you don't do it, there will be one parent class. Who is that? Object class. If there is one class, if I'm mentioning, definitely that class also should be there. But who developed that? Here I'll consider class. What will be present inside this? Who developed this? Who developed this? Compiler will develop the code by itself. It will make it as parent. Does not mean that it will develop the code by itself. No. So inside this, there will be many things. But what I am interested with is here. Inside your object class also, there should be one constructor. Yes or no? This is developed by James Gosling and their team in the beginning, very beginning. Getting my point? Yes or no? So here what I'm trying to say, by default, your program will be having two changes that will be done by your compiler. Which are those two changes? Very first one is whether you write it or you don't write it, one default constructor will be included in your program. Okay. Inside your default constructor means what? Constructor with zero parameters or no parameters, you can say this one. Okay. Very first thing is it will include one default constructor. Inside the default constructor, what will be there? Super method call will be there by default. Okay. By default, it will be there. What is the duty of super method call? I'll discuss. But however, before that, what is the second changes? By default, whether you do it or you don't do it, by default, whatever the class you have created, if it is not having any parent, then object class will become the parent for that class. Sir, only for this class, only for dog class will it happen, sir? No, even here also. I have written launch dog. Is there any parent for this? No. By default, then who will be the parent? Object will be the parent. There will be one default constructor inside this. Getting my point? Yes, no. Okay. Now comes the question, sir. What is the duty of super method call? Here we are doing it, right? We are not doing it, but by default it has been included. But you should know the functionality of that. Getting my point? What is the duty of super method call? The duty of super method call is to, okay, you know the definition other way. I'll put it in this way because according to my convenience, and that is the way it will work. Okay, answer is right, but if you can make it much more better, it will be good. Okay, what I'm trying to say is the duty of super method call is to, again, this question very frequently I'll ask for sure because all the next upcoming programs will have super method. Okay, not only that one, even your non-static concept, whatever we have discussed, right? Even there also one super concept was there, but I skipped it because if I explain there, you will not understand. So now, the duty of super method call is to take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. Okay, getting my point? The duty of super method call is to take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. Here, who is child class? Dog. Who is parent? Object. Okay, till now, in actual. Now the question comes, when exactly your instance variables will be initialized to default values? When? Directly when object is created. Didn't I explain? Then when new keyword is encountered, then will it be initialized? Then when? When we give class name, it will initialize is what we have understood previously. JVM will allocate as well as initialize. No, JVM will not do it. The duty of JVM is only to do this much. So I'm reframing the concept. Whenever you give new keyword, what will happen? Sorry? Have I done this or not? No, I'm getting down. Okay. The duty of new keyword is to call the JVM and JVM will allocate some block of memory and it will assign one address. No changes in that. It is same to same. Next, I will provide the class name. Whenever I provide class name, what will happen? It will check is that class available or not. Is it available? If at all, if it is available, it will check is there any instance variable within that. Is it there? Yes. If it is there, it will allocate the memory. That's it. It will just allocate the memory. It will not initialize into default values. Getting my point? Sir, you should have told it before only, no, sir. Again, if I would have told it before, there only I should have explained about super method, object class constructor, all this. But can I do it? Obviously, no. So I have just at a surface level, we have taken it. Okay, but you will understand the difference now. Now, class is done because of which memory has been allocated for instance variables. Next word, forget this. What is that? We are calling dog method, or more or less it is dog constructor. Ultimately, constructor is also one type of method only. Yes or no? So now I am calling dog constructor, which is default or zero parameters we can call. Because of which what will happen? You think and tell me, did we include the default constructor? Who included? Compiler included by itself. So because of which what will happen? Now the control from here, it will check inside dog class, is there any constructor with zero parameters? Of course, we have not included it, but compiler included it. Because of which control from here, it will directly come to here. Okay. As I've already told, the execution of constructor will be taken place by JVM itself. So you need not create activation record, do that, do this. No. Directly the control will come inside. Inside, what is the first statement? Sir, I will not write it, sir. As of now, did I write it? Here I have written it. Okay. In actual, I have written, but normally, what will happen? By default, that super method also will be there. Now, if I call super method, it will check who is the parent for that respective class, where the super method is there. Where it is there? Inside dog class. Who is the parent class of dog? Object. Then it will take the control from here to object class constructor. How do you know whether it is default or parameterized? So it will take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. Don't use object directly. What if I write here dog, sorry, cat? Then whosoever is parent, there it will take. It need not be object only. It can be any other class. Assume that I'll write dog extends Naveen. Means I am having one child, dog. Okay, Naveen class is having one child class as dog. Getting my point? Then control from here, dog class. It will be taken to where? Which is the parent class? Naveen. In that case, it will be different. So don't directly tell that it will always take to object only. No, it is wrong. Getting my point? Next what? Once after your object class is executed, then your instance variables will be initialized to default values. Sir, what is written inside that, sir? What is written? Why do you even want to know? Is it required? It is already developed by James Cosing. It is kept ready. Getting my point? Whenever you call that particular super method, because of which the control will be taken from where? From child class constructor to parent class constructor. Clear? Next, once all the statements inside object class constructor is executed, what will happen? Instance variables will be initialized to default values. Now, instance variables is initialized to default values because of whom? It is not because of JVM. Previously, we used to tell that it is because of object class constructor. Why object class constructor got called? Because of super method in the child class, because of super method. So any day, sir, I will not allow this to get executed, sir. There is no possibility only. You do it or you don't do it, one or the other way, this will get executed. Just like the way I have previously explained, right? If I create an object, I will create an object. Is there a way to skip execution of non-static block after creating object? Not possible. Why? If I create, by default, for sure it will execute non-static block. In a similar way, if you are calling super method or if there is any program, sir, I want to skip the execution of object class constructor, sir. Never. Understand it? It is never. Means it is never going to happen. One or the other way, object class constructor will get executed. Hopefully, in upcoming programs, you will get a clear picture. Okay. Once this is executed, immediately what will happen? Instance variables will be initialized to default values. Next, all the statements are done, so it will go back. Where? From where it came. From where it came? Because of this. Then where it should go? Directly, you should not say that it should go to there. Before that, you should check, is there any statements here? Is it there? No. As it is not there, where it will go? From where it came. It will go there. Okay. Now the question is, sir, next what, sir? Next what? Wow. Before going to left side, it will check for non-static block is what we have thought previously, but no. What then, sir? Immediately after, assume that below this, there are hundreds of lines. Then how will it work? First, from here, from super method, it will come here, execute and go back. Okay. Below this only, there are 100 statements, but will it execute those 100 statements? No. Before this, if I have written any non-static block, first it will immediately after your super method execution, first it will come to non-static block, execute that, and then go back and then execute the remaining statements. Here, this will be your 1, with this one. This will be your two, I mean, execution. Anyways, it is done. If it is going back, obviously it is executed. Next, once it comes here, next what? Next it is 3. Next it is 4. Next it is 5. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4? Teaching numbers. Huh? Then control flow, because this, whatever you have learned, is different from now. Getting my point? Previously, we understood that before going to left side, it will do it. No, not go before going to left side. It will come to constructor, super method, go to object class. Means super method completely will work. After super method, even though you write thousands of lines, just like your main method, even if there are thousands of static method, which method will get executed first? Main method only. In a similar way, even though below this you write thousands of statements, okay, but how it will work? Immediately after your super method execution, it will go to non-static block, execute, and then come back and then execute remaining statements. Clear with that? Yes, no. As it is not there, nothing is there, simply it will come, it will go back here, and then it will go back to here. Okay, next what? I'll come towards left side. I'll obviously create one reference, and here one address, and which means it is pointing to here. Clear with this? Yes, no. And after that, if I'm calling d1.getName, what output I'll get? What? I'll get output as name. Then what is the dog name? Ash is sleeping. Feeling so. Did I anywhere use any name for dog? Then how come? In and out of this program we have executed. Of course, I have not executed get name, get color, and get first, but is it really needed? Already we have at least I have explained this. Get name, get color, get first, what it will do. You observe here what you are passing. What we are passing? I am not passing anything. As I am not passing anything, and as these are instance variables, it will be initialized to default values. Because of what? Because of what? Instance variables are getting initialized to default values. Means who is initializing your instance variables to default values? Object class constructor. See, I told you super method's duty is to take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. There you should not use object. It will take only to parent class constructor, whosoever it is. But when your instance variables will be initialized to default values, if anyone asks you, it will be done when your object class constructor is executed. Only then. Sir, if my Naveen class constructor, if it's executed, now in place of dog, in place of object, I'll write Naveen. Sir, if I execute Naveen class constructor, will my instance variables be initialized to default values, sir? No. Instance variables will be initialized to default values only and only in one condition, whenever object class constructor is executed. Then only it will be initialized. But super method, it will take the control from child class to parent class. Be it whosoever. Whosoever is the parent class. Does not matter, but it will take the control from child class to parent class constructor. Is that clear? Yes, no? All of you? Next word. Again, before proceeding ahead, few things I just want to reiterate. Very first thing, what will be the changes that will be done to your program? And who will do it? Include, you can say. Allocate, if you say, it will be like more or less, we will use allocate term whenever you want to deal with memory. Okay, include, you can say. So I will only say by default, your compiler will do two changes to your program. Which are those two changes? Whether you write it or you don't write it, by default, there will be one default constructor inside your program. Clear? Clear or not? Next one. And inside default constructor anyways is included. Inside that, what will be there? Whether you write it or you don't write it, by default, one super method call also will be there. Okay. And what is the next changes? By default, if there is no parent class for your class, then by default, one, it will assign one parent class to your child class. So which is that? Or you can say it as by default, it will make object class as a parent class for your class. Okay. So which is that class? Dog class. For dog class, object class became a parent. Next what? In the process of telling what are the two changes, we use some term called as super method. Next term, what is the duty of super method? What is the duty of super method? The duty of super method, nothing much. You need not by heart this. Whatever sir is saying, I should remember this thing. Some of you will try to do this. Not needed. See, I think I know better than you. I have seen much more students than you. Okay. So understand this much, need not by heart. Just see this one. What exactly we are doing here? Super method's duty is what? What it is doing? It is taking the control from child class constructor. Where I have written? Have I written it here? No, it is a constructor. Child class constructor to parent class constructor. That's it. When your instance variables will be initialized to default values? Whenever parent class. Whenever object class constructor is executed, then only. Sir, in place of parent, if I place Navin, will it work, sir? No. Until and unless object class constructor is not executed, it will get executed. There is no way you can avoid it. Okay. But however, until and unless your object class constructor is not executed, your instance variables will not be initialized to default values. Clear with that? Yes, no. Next, when exactly your non-static block will get executed? You are giving answer in such a way, though it is right, but if you put it this way, you will get few more questions. Rather than doing that, keep it in such a way, you should not get any questions. What I can say, what did I say here? You check here. When exactly your non-static block it is going for? This is your non-static block. When it is coming to non-static block? Initialization of value will happen here, but I am speaking about this one. When your values will be initialized to default values? When object class constructor is executed, it is done. Now I'm asking this one. When this one will get executed? See the arrow marks. Clearly you can tell. When control came back to super method, we can say that super method execution is finished. Right? But rather than saying it that way, tell it this way: immediately after the execution of super method call. Getting my point? Because of super method call, it came back, and super method is done now. Will it execute these statements? 100% no. For sure it is no. Then what will get executed? First your non-static block, then go back, and then it will execute these. Is that clear? Yes, no? Online?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I believe this concept is clear. And again, all these days we used to call constructor, but why was it not working, or how was it working even though we were not writing it? If anyone asks you, what you should say? Though we were not writing it, by default, one default constructor will be included in your program. Clear? Yes, no? Next what? Done. Concept is done. Next example, what can I take? What should be the next example? Everything related to constructor, is it done? Not done. Then next word, sir. If you ask me, here in place of where I'm giving default constructor, if I give parameters, what will happen? I'll try to give parameters something like this. Bruno, black, and now you think an answer to my question, what will be the output of this? As I've already told, anyways, compiler will include one constructor for sure. Of course, we have written this one, but however, compiler will include parameterized, because of which Bruno Black 5000 will be accepted there, and inside that super method call will be there, because of which it will go here, come back, and then execute those statements, that is this dot name equal to name, this dot color equal to color, this dot cost equal to cost, because of which Bruno Black 5000 will be assigned for your object value, sorry, instance variables is what you will think. But is it true? No. But until I'm saying I didn't get an answer. However, that's fine. Here, what I'm trying to say is, what I have told you while explaining the previous program, what did I tell? Extra knowledge I don't want. What I have told you in previous program. By default, every time, each time I told you that definition, I have used that, but I didn't stress over that because I wanted you to give some answers first. So, what exactly your compiler will do? By default, it will include only default constructor. Anywhere did I use that? It will include parameterized constructor. 100% no, it will never include parameterized constructor. It will include only and only default constructor. Is that clear? Yes or no? So, what we should do to make this program work? Sir, erase these parameters, sir. I want to pass. I want to pass those parameters. Just because you want to make your program work, will you erase the input only? No. Then what we should do? Like that means what? See here, I'm calling a constructor with parameters. How many? 3. Is there any constructor in my program with 3 parameters? No. Then include it. That's it. It will work. Getting my point? But however, please be careful. Why I'm saying please be careful is because always your compiler will include a constructor. That is true. But what type of constructor? It will only and only include default constructor. It will never include parameterized constructor. Is that clear? Yes, no. Online?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next what? What we should do? If there is no parameterized constructor, what I should do? We should write it ourselves. If it is not there, should we sit and keep on waiting? Next, please observe here. What I will do now? Dog. How will this constructor look like? 3 parameters. What I should write here? String type X. X can I write or not? Why? Why I can't write? If I write, will it not work? It will definitely work. But should I write? No. As I've already told, there is one convention. Next what? Here. Got it? Now we should understand the flow here. Getting it? I think I didn't ask anyone to discuss, so please don't discuss. You have anything to discuss, discuss with me. I am open for discussions. See, all of you should understand one thing. For these diagrams, I already have PPTs. I can directly show that PPTs and I can proceed ahead. But if I'm deciding to write, definitely there is something much more than PPT that you should understand. Okay. If I only have done that PPT, whatever is there here, same thing will be present there also. But still I'm choosing to write it and show. Please do listen. Okay. So now control will come to main method, activation record. Inside main method, it will come first is equal to, because of which right side it will go new keyword, because of which what should happen? Block of memory should be allocated each segment and one address should be assigned. Next, I'm providing class name. Because of this, what should happen? It will check if there is any class with the name dog. Is it there? Yes. If it is there, it will check what? Is there any instance variables within that? Is it there? Yes. If it is there, what it will do? It will allocate the memory and then what? Once it allocated the memory, next what? That's it. Will it do it now? It will not be initialized to default values now. Okay, there is a particular time, because still now, have I executed object class constructor? No, then obviously it will not be initialized. What exactly your JVM will do? It will check variable is there or not. If it is there, it will just allocate the memory. That's it. Now take a break. Next what? This part is done. Yes. Now what? Doc class with brackets and parameters within that. Means this much you should forget. First is new. Next is class name only. Next is class name with brackets and parameters within that. Because of which, what it will search for? Doc class constructor with 3 parameters. Have I written any constructor with 3 parameters? Yes, no. I have written it by myself here. Okay, I have modified it. I have written it. Next what? Definitely. The control from here will come to where? Here. Yes? Yes or no? Now the question is, inside this, what is the first statement? What is the first statement here? All those who are saying that, this dot name equal to name. Already I have told you, if you are writing any constructor, whichever constructor you write, our compiler will create by default inside a constructor, very first statement will be super method only. Sir, we have not written no. Though you have not written, still it is there. Getting my point? Constructor you only have created, but super method will be included by your compiler. That is the reason I told you there is no way that you can skip the execution of your object class constructor. Why? If I don't write any constructor, then what your compiler will do? Include one default constructor, include one super method. What is the duty? It will take to the parent class constructor. Who will be the parent class? Object class constructor. So in that way it will go there. Now I have written one constructor, but what your compiler will do? You have written a constructor, but still inside that your compiler will add one super method call. Sir, we have written, how can compiler add, sir? Go on, question James question. What I can do, because you have designed it like this, it is like this. Okay. Next what? By default, whether you write it or you don't write it, by default, what is the first statement inside any constructor? Be it zero parameterized or default, or one parameterized or two parameterized or three parameterized or n parameterized, by default inside a constructor, what will be the first statement? Super method call only. Clear with this? Next, what is the duty of super method call? As I've already told, anyways, this will be there. Extends object by default will be there if you have not created any parent class. Okay, next what? Take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. Who is child class here? Dog. Dog class constructor to where it will go? Object class constructor it will go. As and when this is executed, what will happen? Instance variable values will be initialized to default values like this. When it will get initialized to default values? When the object class constructor is executed, only then. Next what? Okay, here. Once this is executed, next what? The control will go back to same place from where it came, that is to super method. Next, non-static. It will check if there is any non-static block in the program or not. Immediately after super. Sir, still statements are there, no? It will not execute. First, what it will check? Non-static block, is it there or not? Is it there? No. So what it will do? It will continue with its work. Now you tell me which variable it is. Is there a this keyword this side? No. There is a difference between keyword and method. Okay, method means we will write open bracket, close bracket. This keyword means we will not write any such open bracket or close bracket. Clear? So now here, this is local variable. This is why? Because this keyword is associated. And then what is the value present in local variable name? What? Here only, if you see in this, I told control came here, but control will it come empty handed? No, it will also bring the value that is here, Bruno, here. So now if you observe, what is the value present in local variable name? Bruno. Same will be assigned to instance variable name. So here, this one will become Bruno. This one will become Black. This one will become 5,000. Clear with this? Next what? Once all the statements are executed here, control will go back to where it came, that is here. And is there any other task left out on right side? No. If there are no more tasks left out, then it will come towards left side. Okay. Once it comes left side, what will happen? It will try to create a reference of this dog object and store it in D1. Where this D1 will be created? Which means clear? Yes or no? After that, whatever is there, D1 dot get name, create one activation record. Who is on top of the stack? It will check. As get name will be on top of the stack. Go inside, execute the statement that is return name. What is the value of name? Bruno. I'll get the output as Bruno because I'm printing it. Next, activation record will get deleted. Next, get color. Same process. Return the value of color. So that I'll get the output as black. Whenever I ask you for value, don't check complete program where it is. Directly check the memory map. Value will be present there. I mean, just letting you know the easiest way. That's clear with this? Online?
Yes, sir.
Again, There are few more topics in this only which will confuse. As of now, I'm not taking it, but what I am asking is whatever I have explained, that much did you understand? That's it. We'll quickly execute. Yesterday's program also we didn't execute, right? I think we should do it at last. Yes? Everyone should also accept. Should we do the execution part at last? See you. If you can see, new keyword means what? New block of memory with one address being assigned to it. Yes. Next, doc constructor when we call. Okay. What will happen? It will check whether that class is present or not. If it is present, it will allocate the memory for that instance variable. It will call the constructor present within that particular class. Okay. By default, Java compiler will make two modifications to any Java program, that is extends object. It will make your class, your Java program as child class or object class. Okay, and it will also add one default constructor within which super method call will be present. The duty of super method call is to take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. Clear? Okay, this one you leave as of now. Okay. Till here it is done. I believe there is no other doubt. See, in the same way that I have explained, in the same way I have created PPT also, because as I've already told, if I only have created, content also will be same, PPT also will be same. But programs is not that, because previously I used to write the programs and give time to copy that. But now my duty is to include the program in this. Okay. It will take some amount of time at least. However, if you can see, in the beginning, what I have done, first encapsulation, and then one book example I have taken that I have not included, I should include, because that was just for an example that I don't want it to include in this concept itself. However, here, very first program. Seems good? Not really. But unfortunately, if I want to do everything in one particular slide, it looks like this only. At least this looks better. Now it looks better in some time. Operating system will come, it will hand over the control to main method. Activation record got created, and then equal to operator, go towards right side, new keyword, new object, one address has been assigned, doc constructor, instance variables, memory will be allocated. Here I am showing, in the beginning what I am showing, directly values also will be initialized to default values, because till now I have not included the concept of object class or super method, nothing. But however, this looks like this. Okay. However, here next concept is about setter. So whenever I speak about setter, what I have told, rather than using third-party application, if you want to edit a photo, rather will you use third-party application or inbuilt application? Inbuilt application. The set data is like your third-party application, because I have to call that again. Okay, I will write setter, but I should only call that. But when there is something inbuilt which will get called by itself like this, then why should we go for setter? That is the reason I have moved towards constructor. What do you mean by constructor? It is a special type of setter which is used for initializing the instance variables, and then 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 return type. मतलब सर बाकी आंसर तो सब लोग बोल दिया, हम क्यों बोलेंगे? वैसा है क्या? Constructor, same definition will be there. And then this is, what is this? Shadowing problem. Where to keep this? Next it is shadowing problem. Whatever variable names you want, you should not consider. What variable names I should consider? Same as that of your instance variables. If you can observe, previously it was X, Y, and Z. Now what I have done, I have done it as name, color, and cost. In place of X, Y, Z, I have replaced with name, color, cost. So here what should happen? In place of X, Y, Z, I should replace here also with name, color, cost. But if I replace it like that, then definitely I'll get shadowing problem. That is, your compiler will get confused which is instance, which is local, because of which it will give null, null, and zero. So to avoid this problem or to overcome this problem, what we should do? This keyword we should use so that instance variables will be differentiated with local variables. So for which one we will use this keyword? Instance variables. Solution for shadowing problem, that is nothing but here. Okay. And this is for what? This is the very first program in today's class. Today's class, very first program where I have written a, created an object with 0 parameters, and I have not included any constructor within that. Okay, here getters will be there. Only getters, if you observe. Getters means you should also not write like getters only. You should write get name, get color, get cost. But I have written it as getters. Next what? So equal to operator, right side, new object, address, constructor call, variables will be assigned. Can you see? By default, whatever I am representing it in red color, which means it is done by default. That is, here extends object will come first thing, and this will also come second thing. Clear? That is doc constructor with super method call within that. What is the duty of super method call? First, whenever you create your object and you are calling a constructor here, just a minute, where is it? I'm unable to see it. However, whenever I'm call constructor, the control will go to that constructor inside that super method call is there, because of which it will take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. Who is parent class here? Object class. Whenever, now you observe till now, is by instance variables initialized to default values? No. When the control is taken from child class constructor to parent class constructor, whenever object class constructor is executed, if you can see, there is one line being formed near object class constructor. Yes. Then your instance variables will be initialized to default values, and then control will go back, and then control will go back, and then it will go towards left side and create the reference. From where to where, didn't understand. Non-static block, it will check, but here it was not there, so I just proceeded. Is it there any non-static block here? In the very first program that I have considered, just for your explanation purpose, I have done it there. However, I was supposed to do it in static keyword concept. Okay, there I have not done. I will show that program also in a while. This is done new key, same thing. How many times I'll show? Execution will do it at last in one go. Okay, which means you keep listening as of now. Any problem, guys? Then why you guys are talking? Done. Done. Family problems. As if you guys will not talk. You are laughing on others, huh? Where did I throw the markers? Okay. So getting back to the topic now. Next what? Okay. Super method call I have done. Next, how can I link the next concept? Hmm. Okay. Now, did you understand the concept, guys? What your compiler will include? What your compiler will include. That's it. Okay. Now I have one question for you. Can you guys solve it? Okay. Flow and all you forget. Okay. This flow is for previous program. Next, what? If you ask me, dog type, new dog, but here what I write? D2 dot. Here also. Next what? Same means what? Get name, get color. Clear? Here. See output of this program. I want total output. I want total output. Don't tell me only for second object. There are 4 print statements. For all the 4 print statements, I want the output, which means in my output there should be 4 statements should be there. Because how many times I have printed? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what will get printed? Bruno Black 5000. Huh? Bruno Black, null, null. Color is anyways not there. So what will be the output? All of you, quickly. For this much, anyways, we already know it is Bruno and Black. For these two, it will be null and null is what you will think. But unfortunately, no. Sorry? Bruno Black, huh? Not that also. Simple thing it is, compile time error. Why? If you ask me, the reason is that I told you that compiler will include. Of course, the concept still has not been explained, but I wanted you to think in wrong way only, so that later you will think in right. Here, I told you that compiler will include one default constructor. Anywhere in my program, have I written default constructor? No, but I'm calling default constructor, right? Yes or no? But it will work is what you thought. Why you thought like that? You didn't thought only. Just like that you gave answer. Sorry? Exactly. I wanted this answer. What you would have thought? Of course, we are not writing it, but compiler will include not, sir. You only told that compiler will include. Of course, compiler will include one default constructor, but with the terms and conditions. What do you mean by terms and conditions, sir? If at all, if there is no constructor, not even a single constructor in your program, then only it will include one constructor, default constructor in your program. If you include even a single constructor with one parameter or two parameter or three parameter or four parameter, whatever, even if you include one single constructor in your program, by default compiler will never include a constructor. Different name if you use, it will not become constructor only. No? What you are saying is, I will write cat here, but will it become a constructor? Then this will get error. This you will get error. No? Then you want to create an object of dog, you'll create an object of dog. But is there a parameterized constructor? Default constructor anyways will get included. This will work, but here only it will fail. No? Why? You are calling a dog constructor with three parameters. Do you have a dog constructor with three parameters? No, because you changed it to cat. Okay, this will work because there are no other constructors. Sorry, if you include cat, then there will be no other constructors, because of which your compiler will include one default constructor. But will there be parameterized constructor anymore? No, that will work like a normal method. And if you are making it as a normal method, definitely you should give return type also. I have told you, only for constructor, return type will not be there. When can you call any method as a constructor? If the method name and class name is same. Okay, if it is same, this will become a constructor. If this is a constructor, will your compiler include a default constructor? No. Why? Why it will not include a default constructor? Why will it not include a default constructor? Is because as a programmer, even if you create a one single constructor with whatever parameters, then compiler will never include a default constructor. When will your compiler include a default constructor? Only when there is no other constructor, not even a single constructor in your program, then only your compiler will include a default constructor. Is that clear? Yes, no? Yes. So if anyone gives like this, first you observe. Getting my point? First you observe suitable constructors are there or not. This one, for dog, three parameters. Is it there? Yes, it is there. For dog with zero parameters, is it there? No. Immediately you think, will your compiler include default constructor? No. Why? Already we have included one constructor with three parameters. Getting my point? So default will not be included. If default is not there, directly it should be an error. Clear with that? It will give you an error saying that either you pass some parameters here. Getting my point? If I pass three parameters, what will happen? Same output where I will get anyways, that is true, but same constructor will work for both the objects. So you don't have any need for what? Default constructor, or otherwise you remove this one and you remove this one also. Parameters only you remove. Just to make your program work, will you keep on removing every parameter? No, that also you should not do. Is that clear? Yes, no. It will give an error saying that actual parameter length. Actual parameter means what? From where you are passing the parameters. Here I am passing the parameters. What is the length here? Here I am passing the parameters. What is the length here? 0. Wherever it will get stored. Okay, that also we call it as a parameters. Comma parameters we can call it as, how many parameters are getting received here? 3. But what is there? 0. It is different. Okay, I'll show you that error. I'll show you, then you will get a clear picture. Till now, any doubt? No. Okay. So next what? What is the duty of super method call? Perfect. The duty of child super method call is to take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. Meanwhile, okay, keep that in your mind. However, now I want to make this program to work. This program as of now will not work because there is an error. How can I make this program work? Unnecessarily, should I pass simply random parameters? Remove the object only. I want an object. I don't want to pass unnecessary parameters. Think what is the option. As simple as that. I told you compiler will include a default constructor. Okay, only when there are no other constructor. But already there is one constructor. Along with that, I want default constructor also. What is the problem? You create it by yourself. Getting my point? Yes or no? How to create it by myself, I will tell you. But where I should create, I'm thinking. Sorry? See, you guys should adjust now. Okay, I'll write it here. Fine. Getting my point? This is not a part of this one. That is a part of this one. Fine. Later you should not get it out, sir. This already you closed, you are writing it outside, sir. Such a smart people, I can trust you blindly saying that even after saying this, you will have the same doubt. I know that. So here, what I'll write? Here, what I should write? You write it or you don't write it by default. Will be there. Constructor means super method is compulsory. Okay, by default, what will be the first statement? Super. Sir, I will not write, sir. Still super only it is. It is not visible, but still it is super only. Inside this, what I will do? Name. I will assign it to color. Purple. Should not I write pink, violet, yellow? Okay. So now, if I have to start with the program, please do understand the flow, how it works, and control from where to where it will flow. Okay. Done. Next what? Now, very first thing, operating system will hand over the control to main method, because of which what should happen? One activation record should be created like this. Yes? Wrong timing, it is lagging. However, here, this is the activation record of what? This is the activation record of main method. Next what? JVM will check who is on top of the stack. Who is on top of the stack? Activation record of main method is on top of the stack, because of which the control will enter inside the main method and start executing the statement. What is the first statement? Equal to, go on right side, new, because of new. What should happen? Allocate some block of memory and assign one address to it. Next, am I providing a class name? Yes, because of which what should happen? Check for if there is any instance variables within that class. Is it there? If it is there, allocate some block of memory. Okay. Next, what? Initialize it to default values, sir. Thank God. Today I can, assume myself as a Java trainer. Luckily. Okay. Next, what? Class with brackets and parameters within that, which means I'm calling a constructor. Constructor with how many parameters? 3. Is there any constructor with 3 parameters in my program? Yes. Which means the control from here will go towards, see, if you understand the program flow, you will easily be able to understand. In the end of the session, if you see this program, no, this program is much better. Later, I will use one more concept, that is local chaining. There to, arrow marks from where to where it is going, you will not be able to trace it. So please try to understand. If you understand, at least properly in your notes, you can write it by yourself, you can understand it also. Now itself, you can say how many times it is getting overlapped gods. Okay, so please try to listen and understand. Now inside this, what will be the first statement? Again, while coming, it also brought the values, that is Bruno, Black and 5000. Yes? Yes or no? Next, what? What is the first statement? What is the duty of super method? Correct. That is the answer. It will take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. From here, it will take the control to here because object is the parent class. As soon as your object class constructor gets executed, then what will happen? Instance variables will be initialized to, I believe all of you can understand. Lack of space. Okay. Next, what? Once this is done, it will go back and then it will check for non-static block. Is it there? If it is there, anyways, it will execute. But here it is not there, so I'm just skipping it. Next, what? This dot name equal to name, this dot color equal to color, this dot cost equal to cost. Which side is local? Which side is instance? Right side is local and left side is instance. Why I'm taking local first is because from local I'm copying it to instance. What is the value present in local variable name? Bruno. So this will become as Bruno, Black, and then 5000. Next, what? This will be pointing to where? This object. Next, what? All of you should be able to understand. Get name, get color. What it will return? Bruno and Black I'll get in my output screen. Next, what? Next, I'm trying to create one more object equal to operator, right side, new keyword. Equal to operator means right side it will go, because of new keyword it will try to allocate some more block of memory with an address to it. Next, what instance variable? It will check if there is any instance variable or not. If it is there, it will definitely name, color, and instance variables it will check. Here, instance variables I have allocated, right? If I am giving a value or not, that is my wish. But instance variable so should be there. Here, if you have included, there it should be there. Okay. Next, what? Will it be initialized to default values? No. Then what? You are calling one constructor with brackets and no parameters within that. Is it there? I have included by myself because compiler will not include in this case. Why? Already one constructor exists. So default constructor it will never include. When there are no constructors, then only include. So what I have done, I have included by myself. So from here, the control will go to adjust. Okay, there. Inside that, what I have written? What is the first statement? Super method again. It is not this dot name. By default here, what is there? If you write or if you don't write by default, super method call will be there, because of which from here I should go to here. Okay, inside this, whatever is there, as soon as it is executed, got it? Next what? Once this is done, it will go back to same place from where it came, here. Next, below that, what is there? Override the value of name, that is, it will get Jimmy, and then here I'll get I'm not having two variables, right? What is your doubt exactly? How it will override the value? As I've already told, I'm calling that constructor for which object? That constructor is suiting for which object? First one or second one? Second one, obviously. Here I'm calling, because of which directly from here control will go there. Okay, super method is there, because of which it will go to object class constructor. By that time, all the three instance variables anyways will be initialized to default value. Once it comes back, it will just check, is there any more statements left out here? I mean, after this, it will also check for non-static block, but as there are no non-static block, I'm just skipping it. And it will check, is there any other values here? If there is any other values, or if there is any other statements, it will execute that, be it anything. Okay, here what I am doing, name equal to Jimmy and color equal to brown I'm giving. Normally you think and tell me, I'm dealing with this constructor because of which object? D2. Then these two variables will be considered for D2 object. As simple as that. Because of which I'll get the values as Jimmy and Brown. So in my output, what should be the what I should get as output? Bruno, Black, Jimmy, and Brown. Is that clear? Yes or no? I feel like I should erase and write again. Anyways, I'll not do that much. I believe you know that. Online, is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Can I, if I have to question that, what is the level of understanding with respect to percentage? Okay. Okay. I think you guys got bored because of saying super, super, super. I'll change. Now we'll see. Okay. Next what? I believe all of you are still listening. All of them are attending, madam. Don't worry. Here. Next what? First, I should clean the board. How can I clean it? No. This is the reason I'll not fail to write only. What is this? From where it came? Okay, हो गया डिस्कशन, डन। शेयर कर लिया पूरा प्रॉब्लम, इसलिए शादी नहीं करना चाहिए, ठीक है। उसका ही आवाज आ रहा था तो लगा उसी का प्रॉब्लम। सो हियर all of you listen, stop, done. Now I told you that by default, now my question is that what will be the first statement inside your constructor? Again, conditions applied. Okay, TNC applied. What I'm trying to say is, I told you previously, I have told you that compiler will include default constructor. True, it is, it will include, but with some terms. What is that? It will include if and only if there is no other constructor, then only it will include. Even if there is one constructor, then will it include? In a similar way. Okay, in a similar way, inside a constructor, super method will be there. True. Will be there. True. If and only if there is no this method. If this method is there, then super method will not be there. Sir, I will not write anything, sir. Then by default, super method will be there. Getting my point? Super method will be there inside your constructor. That is true again. I'm not saying it is false, but assume that here, here also I have not written anything. Here also I have not written anything initially, but later I felt to write. What I will write? I have written this. Now you think and tell me what is the first statement? Now it is not super. Now it is not a super method call. Why? Because this method call is there. Okay. Sir, why should both be there, sir? Why can't we have both now? Sir, I will write both here, sir. Can we write both? Why? In simple words, if I have to say, okay, both have one expectation. Okay, it is something like, anyways, example I'll give later. As of now, both are having one simple expectation that if they are present inside a constructor, be it this or be it super method, if they are present inside a constructor, they should only be the first line. Getting my point? Yes or no? No one else can be there. Okay, both of them have same expectation. If I am there, I should only be the first line. Okay. Now, sir, I will write both of them in first line only, sir. Is it first line? Lines will be considered not based on where you are writing. Lines will be considered based on your semicolon. If you are writing semicolon, which means first line is done. If you are writing second time, which means it is second line. Now you observe and tell me, can you write both of them in one single line? No, don't tell me single line only we have written. According to semicolon. Okay, can you keep both of them at first place only? No. So that is the reason. If you are writing this method call, then you cannot write super. If you are writing super method call, then you cannot write this method call. So by default, if you don't write anything, what will be there? By default, if we don't write anything, means I will not write this method call. Then what will be there? Super method call, you write or you don't write, by default it will be there. But if you write this method call, then super will not be there. Getting my point? It is like both of them are there fighting for one single chair at any point of time. How many people can sit in that chair? Only one. It should be either this method or super method. Sir, I will make both of them to sit, sir. Not possible. Clear with the point? Yes, no. Still, I have so much time. Next, what? So here I have written, there I have not written anything. Then by default, what will be there? This I am writing it here as of now for you to see it, but by default it will be there. I am not going to write it. Getting my point? How this will work, sir? How this will work? Now think and tell me what will be the output. Sure. After using this method also, will it be the same? Because for first constructor, I'm using 3 parameters. It will come here and then I'm calling this method. I just want same or not. I don't want explanation. I'm just asking, will it be same? Are you sure about the answer? Is what I'm asking. But still, just those who know, just a blind guess. For you guys, it is done, right? Miss here. Okay. First one is, second one is, first one is Jimmy Brown, second one is also Jimmy Brown. Sure? Sure? Okay. Output remains same as of whatever we were getting previously, that is Bruno, Black, Jimmy, Brown. But in memory will it be same? Output you will get same, but in memory definitely there will be some changes. What are those changes is what all of you should understand now. So please listen carefully. Writing, erasing, writing, erasing. Okay. Okay. However, I have directly created both the objects, but this way it will not work. First, it will work with first one, print the output, then it will go for second one. But however, I'm doing it direct because no patience to do that. Again, erase completely and right? No. So equal to operators, right side, new object has been created, one address has been assigned, and then class name. Class is there or not? Is there any instance variables or not? If it is there, allocate some block of memory for those variables, and then dot class with brackets and parameters within that. How many parameters? 3 parameters I'm passing. Because of this, what will happen? Because of this, what will happen if you ask me here? The control will definitely search for constructor with 3 parameters. Is it there? Yes or no? Definitely yes, it is there here. Okay, because of which the control will come from here directly to here. Clear? From there, control came to here. What is the next statement inside this? What is the first statement inside this? Anyways, while coming, it will also bring Bruno, Black, and 5000. But what is the duty of this method now? What is the first statement in this inside this constructor? This method call is there, which means super method call is not there. If this method call is there, super will not be there. If super is there, then this will not be there. Okay. So now this method call is there. What is the duty of this method call? It will take the control. Previously, what we have discussed, super means take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. But now what we are doing, the duty of this method call, in name only it is there. This. Okay, this means what? Within same class, another constructor it will go. Okay, sir, within same class, which constructor it will go, sir? Here, what you have written? One brackets with zero parameters, mean no parameters. Yes or no? Is there any constructor? Is it a this method? Yes, within same class, this if you are getting within same class, is there any constructor which matches this? Check. If it is there, directly from here, control will go to there. Getting my point? First, it will not execute this one. First, because of this, it will go from here to here. Now, till now, is your instance variables initialized? No. Again, inside this, what will be there? Super method call. Because of which, what will happen? The duty of super method call is to take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. Yes. Is there any parent class here? Which is that object because of which? Because of this super method call, the control will be taken to here. Inside this, whatever is there, as soon as it is executed, then what? It will be initialized with default values. Now, some of you will ask, sir, some of your doubt will be, sir, there also I will write this method only. Then I will skip this object class constructor execution. No. Right. Here, if I write this, it is going there. Here also I will write this one. Then recursive. Okay. If I try to call this method there also, then it will not work. It will generate an error. So now the question is, sir, I thought to say something, but I missed it. However, it is fine. So because of super method call, okay, what will happen? Control came to here, it has been executed, it has been initialized to default values done. Next, go back to from here to sure. From where the control came to this object, from where the control came? Because of super method. So it should go back to same old here. Super method on. Next, now I should go back to this method. Yes or no? It will again check, is there any non-static block? After, immediately after super method, it should check for non-static block. Be it wherever. If you are executing super method call, it will check for non-static block immediately. Is it there? No. Because of which it will try to execute remaining statements first. These statements. Is there any statements? Yes. So now it will become how much? Sorry, what? It will become as Jimmy and then Brown. This I am not changing. Next what? Now the control will come back to yes. Below this, whatever statements are there, it will try to execute that one. That is this dot name equal to name. Again, after this method, it will check is there any other statements there or not. Is there any other statements? Yes. If it is there, it will try to execute this. I mean, I'm just repeating that statement. It will check for any more statements is available or not. If it is there, then it will try to execute that. Because of which, what is the value of this? I mean, local variable name. So it will try to rename this with Bruno, this with black, and this with output is same. Previously also output was Bruno, black, and 5000 only. Now also I'm getting the same only. But definitely there is a changes in memory level. Previously what was happening? Directly from default values, it was going for Bruno, black, and 5000. But now in between the values were overridden with from default value to Jimmy and Brown 0, and then to Bruno Black and 5,000. Output you will get the same, but definitely there is changes at memory level. Is that clear? Okay. Next what? I am done for first object. And if I try to print, I will definitely get Bruno and Black. Next what? New object allocation and address assigned, class name, instance variable, memory has been assigned but not initialized. And then I'm calling what? What? Dark constructor is what I'm calling, because of which control from here, where it will go. There are two constructors of dog. It will directly go to here. Okay, inside this, what is the first statement? Super method, because of which it will again come here, execute this. Here I'll try to write, and now the control will go back to same place from where it came, that is because of this, and then it will check for non-static block, and then it will try to execute this statement, Jimmy Brown. Yes. Is there any more statements? Is there any more statements here? No. So it will come back to here, same place, and then create the reference, and then go for remaining statements, that is d2 dot get name, d2 dot get color. What output I'll get? Jimmy and Brown. Of course, previous output and this output is same, but with respect to memory level, are the values same or is the memory diagram same? No, there is some changes in that. Is that clear? Okay, online.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, and then what will happen here? I have called this with 0 parameters. Yes or no? Yes or no? And assume that here I'll write like this. Yes. What error? You know only recursive then. After recursive, what? But it will not, whenever errors are there, you cannot change the errors. Okay, so please try to remember those. It will give an error saying that recursive constructor invocation. Getting it? How, sir? Please do listen here. From here, 3 parameters you are passing, because of which it will come to here. Now here I have written what? This method with 0 parameters, because of which, is it there? Yes or no? This means what? Within same class or parent class? Within same class. So it will check for constructor within the same class with 0 parameters. So it will come to here. Getting it? Inside this constructor, what is the first statement? It is this method call. Okay. This method call with how many parameters? 0. Is it there inside our program? Yes or no? This one only. Yes. This means within same class means dog constructor with one set of brackets and 0 parameters. Is it there? Yes. So what will happen? From here, it will go here. Later, you should not blame me saying that I didn't explain. So from here, it will go to here. Again, it will come inside. What you will get? This. Did you understand? Can you ever come out of this loop? Never ever. Okay. Assume that there is only one constructor. Okay, that here, if I write, assume that here there is nothing. Nothing means what is there? Super. Now here what I'll do, I'll pass three parameters. A, color I will give it as B, cost I'll give it as 5 rupees. Now what will happen? Again the same problem, it is recursive constructor invocation. Why? Control will come here, come inside this only. With how many parameters? 3. So it will come here again. Come inside, come here again. Come inside, come here again. So it will keep on looping like that. It will never come out of the loop. Clear with that? Loop does not mean that your for loop, do while loop. Okay, here it is creating loop structure. Out of this, it will never be able to come, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, if I use term loop, you will go for loop. Sir, I know for loop, sir. However, keeping that aside, assume that here I'll give like this only. Here I'll give this one only. But here I'll try to give this method with आएगा error ही आएगा. What error? Same old error. What is that? Recursive constructor invocation. If you observe here, first I'm creating an object with 3 parameters, because of which from here it will come to here, carrying the values. Inside it will come. What is the first statement? This method call. Don't just say this. If you simply say this, what I should consider? Keyword or method? Method call. Because this keyword is also there. If you remember, instance variables, the keyword is totally different from this method, because there I never used to write this bracket, but here I am writing it, which means this is a method. There whatever we were using for avoiding shadowing problem, that was keyword. So now here this open bracket close bracket means within same class with zero parameters, is there any constructor? Yes. Then from here it will go here. Inside this, what is the first statement? This with 3 parameters means within same class, is there a constructor with 3 parameters? Yes. Then from here it will come to here. Inside from here, go there. From there, come here. It will keep on looping from one constructor to another constructor within same class again. Why? Because there is no. So if I have to give an explanation for that, as I've already told you, if you want to have 100 constructors, okay, assume that dog 1, dog 2, dog 3, dog 4, dog 5. In dog 1, 1 parameter, dog 2, 2 parameter, dog 3, 3 parameter, dog 4, 4 parameter. Like that, 100 constructors I'll have. In dog 100, how many parameters will be there? 100 parameters will be there. Okay. Sir, if I'm having 100 constructors, can I have this method in all the constructors, sir? Means first in one parameterized constructor, I'll write this with 2 parameters. Now it will go for 2 parameterized constructor, that is a dog with 2 parameters. There what I'll do? I'll call this method with 3 parameters. Now it will go for 3 parameters. There I'll call this method with 4 parameters. It will go like that till 99. Means 99th constructor wherein there are 99 parameters. Still there I'll go. Okay, there what I will write? This with 100 parameters. It will go for 100th constructor with 100 parameters. There also, if I have to write this, there is no one not one constructor. So what I should write? Either I have to write no parameters, or I have to write 1 parameters. Okay, I will write that. Will it work? From first it will go to second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, like that it will go 99, 100. Again it will come back to first. That will create a loop. Means if you want, you can have 100 constructor also with whatever number of parameters. But what? But you cannot have, if you are having 100 constructors, there should be at least one constructor with what? If you are having 100, if you want to have 100 constructor with 100 parameters, you can have. Okay, means different. Like that 100 constructors, if you want to have, you can definitely have. But at least there should be one constructor with super method call. Okay, clear? Can I have this method call in every constructor? Not possible. Sorry, this method call, can I have in every constructor? Not possible. At least there should be one constructor with super method call. Why? No, please do understand the purpose as well. Not to just avoid the looping. What is the major purpose of super method? That you are saying the definition. More or less, as I have already told you, this method call, will it initialize the instance variables to default values? Never. If you keep this method only in all the constructor, what will happen? Your instance variables will never be initialized to default values. That is the reason they made it as an error. What I am telling you is why they are not allowing, why the Java team is not allowing this method call inside every constructor. In a class, if there are 100 constructors, I want to have this method only in all the 100 constructors or 10 constructors. Why they are not allowing? Any idea? If they allow like that, what will be the problem? Instance variable will never be initialized to default values. That concept only will get changed. Yes or no? That is the reason. When your instance variables will be initialized, whenever super method is executed, it will go to parent class. Now you may say, sir, what if there is one more parent called as cat, sir? For dog, I am having a parent. You told if there are no parent, then object will become parent. But what if there is a parent, sir? Object class, in place of object, I am having cat. Then it will go to cat class. At least cat class should have one parent. Sir, cat is also having one parent, sir. Bird. Sir, then what about bird? It will go to bird class. Bird should have one parent. At least you will find one such class where there is no parent. When there is no parent by default, you will definitely find object. Okay. Directly or indirectly, for every class that you create in Java, who is the parent class? Object class is the parent class. But will we code object class? Never. It is already coded, it is inbuilt, and it is ready to use. Clear with the point? Yes or no? Any other doubt? Online. No for no doubt or not
No
understood
doubt.
anything. Okay,
No doubt.
great. Perfect. And again, one concept I missed. Not concept I missed, but definitely it is just a definition. There are two terms that you should know. Okay. Here, if I try to say like this, what this will do? I mean, what this method will do? Take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor, and here like this. Here, this is only the parent, right? Sorry. Yes, this is only the parent. This process we call it as what? Constructor chaining. What do you mean by constructor chaining? If I ask you, what will you? One constructor called to the another constructor. Again, in simple manner, if we have to say also, constructor chaining, when we discuss, it should be from child to parent only. So that is what I'm telling. There are two types only. One is constructor chaining, the second one is local chaining. By default, it has already been categorized. So constructor chaining basically means that it will take the control from child class to parent class constructor, and we can achieve this by using super method call. And the other one is local chaining. What do you mean by local chaining? Chaining means taking the control from one constructor to another constructor. In that, there are two. One is constructor chaining. Second one is local chaining. Constructor chaining, I believe all of you have understood. Yes, local chaining means what? That also you have understood, I believe. But again, I'll repeat. Local chaining is nothing but process of okay, taking the control from one constructor to another constructor within the same class. We can achieve this by using this method call, not keyword. This method call. Please make sure that you are saying this method call. It is not this keyword. Is that clear? Yes or no? Any more doubts? No? We'll see what is there if we have left out something. Get color. What is this all about? This is the one which we have already discussed. Here, that's it. Clear with this? But however, I want to ask one more question related to what if you ask me in this one thing I left out. Anything did I leave? You guys are asking, I mean, discussing about that one only, right? What did I left? What did I teach? I know you will not talk any other things. I know very well about you. Left out. Here, okay, already it is written, I guess. If you have really understood this concept, just tell me the output of this. What will be the output, guys? Sure. Sure. Okay. So whenever I create your object, the control will first come to main. Whenever I'm creating your object, I'm discussing. Constructor call will happen, because of which it will go to constructor. But super method is there, because of which it will go to object class constructor. It will execute. If there is any instance variables, it will be initialized to default values. But as of now, there are no, so it will come back to super. But below that, there is one method, right, inside a constructor. Why will you think that inside a constructor will not be the first statement? Because of super method, you cannot say because of non-static block. So as I've already told, immediately after your super method, though you are writing any statement, as I have written in this example. What I have written? Below that super only I have written inside a constructor. But again, that super method, did I write by myself? No, it is by default included. That is the reason I'm representing it in red color. So because of super method, it will go, come back, and immediately after your super method execution, where will it go? Non-static block. But there are two. So which one will it execute first? The whichever will come first in your program from top to bottom, it will encounter that first, or it will try to execute that first. Means which one? Inside non-static block 1, inside non-static block 2, inside a constructor. See here. Super method. See, I cannot draw arrow mark as I've already told, so arrow mark will be missing there. Super method, object class constructor, execute, come back, and once it comes back, it will not go below. It will go to non-static block 1, it will go to non-static block 2, then it will come back to super, and then it will execute remaining statement that is inside a constructor, and then it will go back to same place, and then it will create reference, etc., etc., etc. All those things already you know. Yes, clear? Discussing about next topic, right? I know you're not discussing any family problems. I do understand that. Discussing about next concept. However, I'll tell that quickly. Before winding up, I just want to recollect whatever we have done. How many of you have seen the PPT at least, whatever I've shared? Those who didn't get that, didn't get. You will ask in such a way, sir, I need it. But have you seen after giving? No. At what time I have shared, at least you guys know? सो गया था, 3 लोग बस देखा था, उसमें एक तो आशु सरी था, ठीक है, और 2 लोग कौन है कुछ जानते हैं। क्यों चाहिए तुम लोग को? क्यों चाहिए? रात में बात करना है क्या किसी से? ठीक है, तो वो छोड़ दो। So I'm just telling you that in that till 44th slide, whatever I have done, I have modified it in such a way, including program. Okay, program will come or definition will come first, then diagram will come, and then program will come. Because I have not given you time for copying the program. Previously, I used to do it in such a way. I used to give time for copying the program, but memory diagram, I used to give it in PPT so that they can easily understand and copy. Or I will display, they will copy there and then itself. But I'm not giving time, I know that. So that is also included in PPT. But again, if you want to understand that, you should have listened here. Then only. Okay. So please make sure all of you are listening. However, should I revise strings? I don't think so. Speaking about methods, value type assignment, reference type assignment, and then types of methods. Yes. And then comes your method overloading. For method overloading, 3 points you should say. For definition of method overloading, virtual polymorphism, and then return type does not play any role in method overloading. Yes. Anything else did I leave? Then what? I have taken some examples also. Accordingly, you can see those examples. If you see that, you will understand. That is int float, int float. I have taken few examples and I'll pass in like that. If you see that, you will understand. That anyways, I'll include in PPT. If you see, definitely you will understand. Keeping that aside, next is static. So in static, if I have to speak first is directly. Which are the elements of static? That is static variable, block, and method. And then all the 6. And then who can access whom? And then one sample program. And then application of static variable. That statement I have given. Whenever you want to maintain a single copy, go with static variable. And then I have given one example of farmer which suits perfectly for that. And then static block. Application of instance variable. Okay, in between all this, there is a concept of difference between instance and local variable also. Okay, before methods, I think. After that, however, next in static block I have discussed instance variable nothing but separate copy for each object. And static block, if there are certain set of statements which has to be executed before main method. Non-static block, compulsorily for all the objects. Okay, for that one doc count the number of objects example I have given. Okay, and then difference between static method and non-static method, and difference what I have given yesterday. That one, that is for generic, and then static keyword I should use, and then where it will be allocated, and then before object creation, that one, and dot last class name dot method. Okay, that one I have told. On the other side, you should be able to write it. And next, static is done. Static is done. For encapsulation, three definitions. First one is providing the security to most important component of the object. How? By preventing the direct access and providing the controlled access. How? Preventing by making private, providing by making use of setter and getter. You guys have by-hearted or really understood? And then, very first program books example I have taken. Yes, not directly constructor. First books example I have taken, then I have shifted towards dog example. One dog class I have taken, I have written setter with variables, local variables as x, y, z. Okay, why I have done that? So that I can explain you in same program using constructor. And then comes your shadowing problem. First I have written setter, but later what I have told? When there is something inbuilt which will get called when you create your object, why should you create it by your own? Okay, that photo editing example, if you want to do it using third party or inbuilt application, same thing. Instead of using setter, directly you can use constructor. That I have told. And while creating a constructor, whatever variable names you want, you cannot give. What you should give? Same name as of your instance variables name. Next, if I use that, definitely I will encounter shadowing problem. To overcome that shadowing problem, we should make use of this keyword. Getting my point? And I think more or less today's program it was. Yesterday, did I discuss anything with respect to constructor? No. That much only, I guess. Today's very first program. Almost today I have done 3 to 4 programs if I'm not wrong. Very first one, default constructor. If I give default, I mean, if I simply create an object without any parameters and I will not include anything. Okay, I will not write any constructor. Then how was it working? Yesterday, anyways, in place of setter, I replaced it with constructor. That is done. In today's class, very first program was I created an object with 0 parameters. Here is this one. Created object with 0 parameters, only one I have created. And then what I have done? I have not included that respective constructor. Getting it? Then what will happen? Compiler will include one default constructor. And along with that, super method and extends object. These things also you should explain that. Super method's duty is to take the control from child class constructor to parent class constructor. That is done. Extends object. Object is nothing but here parent class. Okay, to establish the relationship between parent and child, we are using extends keyword. Inheritance, but extends keyword is what we should use. Next. हो गया वो कब का हो गया अभी तक उधर ही अटके हो ठीक है next I have given parameters next program see it is quite easy to remember what I have done in first today's class without any parameters without any constructor so compiler will include one next time what I have done parameters I have passed I did not include any constructor what I will think there is a default constructor which will get included. I mean, parameterized constructor also will get included is what we will think, but will it happen like that? No, it will never include parameterized constructor. It will always include only default constructor. So it will give an error saying that the length of the parameters are not matching. One side it is 3 and on the other side it is 0. It will not match is what it will say. So later what I will do, I will include it by myself. Okay, so that the program will work. Next what? I will create this one. Two objects I'll create, but only one parameterized constructor. Means three parameterized constructor I'll include. Default is not there. Why? Because in previous program, I myself told that it will include a default constructor. But will it include in every time? No, it will include if and only if there are no other constructors in your program. Even if there is one single constructor, then it will definitely not include a default constructor. That I have explained. And then what? Next what? I have used this in one place. Means first time I have passed three parameters. Inside that I have used this with zero parameters. So, and there should be another constructor with zero parameters. Okay, from first control will go from object creation to constructor with three parameters. Inside that there is this method call with zero, because of which it will go to dot constructor with zero parameters. Whatever is inside it will execute, come back, and then it will execute remaining state. Clear? Yes or no? This means it will take the control from one constructor to another constructor within same class. Clear? Next one. I have given one example of recursive constructor invocation. There is no way to avoid it. Only way is that if there are how much ever constructors you want to have, you can have, but however, at least one constructor should be having super method call. Clear? Any doubt till now? No? Okay. However, one information that I want to give is hopefully till today you will get PPT. Okay, from tomorrow, hopefully for 2 to 3 concepts you will not get PPT. I will try to do it, but I'm not sure how much I can do or not do. I'm not sure. If I am able to do it, I will tell you don't write. If I'm unable to do it, you should write. You should write in class itself, class time itself. I'll give time here itself. You should copy. Clear? Yes, no. Hopefully from tomorrow. Because this concept PPT I don't have, because this concept was taught by someone else in the during those times. That much you understand. Clear? So I'll wind it up here for today, because anyways, the next day something like new concept I should start, which I'll not do it now. Yep, I'll do it tomorrow. Hopefully that will be, you come tomorrow, you'll get it. Okay. Fine then. Any other doubts online? Offline is so clear that I can see from faces. You know, just that they are feeling little sleepy. Yeah? No? Online, level of understanding with respect to percentage, online, offline, everyone. Quickly, chat box. Fine then. I'll share other PPTs as well, guys, but please give me some time. And before that, first you finish strings. Okay, anytime, any day, I may ask you question. It does not mean that from tomorrow you will stop coming to classes. Okay, so if I still want to ask, anyways, I'll get all your numbers. At least you will attend online. From online, every day I'll block you. Where you will go? Will come to me only. No, sir, I'll not come to you. Directly I'll attend job placements. For placements, at least you will fill the form. That will come for BGS. That data access, anyways, I'll get. After that, from that data, I'll remove your name. Again, you should come to me only. Better than doing all that, PPT will, as has already been shared, revise and be prepared. Okay, I'll see to it. Saturday, I will cancel the class and I'll take mock interview. Okay, be prepared anytime. Okay, it may be Saturday or Sunday. Anytime, be prepared. I may cancel class and take it, or I may continue with class also. It depends. Don't come to conclusion that, sir, you don't have time to cancel the class and all. You will continue, sir. Don't think so. If I want to do it, somehow I'll do. And the next day, morning only 3 hours I'm taking. Okay. I know what I should do, how I can compensate. So don't worry about my classes. Okay. However, for today, I'll wind it up here. I believe no doubts. Fine then. Thank you so much.